even have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. We're hot. We're hot. Are we really hot?
We hot.
We hot. Check you. See, get that microphone, young lady.
Hi.
Uh-oh. She said, ha! Family, this is the Talk Beat Jones. And as you know, we're getting close to the elections. But before I get into the elections process, this is the Talk Beat Jones. And we want to speak on some things that's happened. We want to speak on some things that's happening. We're going to get more volume here. You speak in your microphone?
Hello.
Speak in your microphone?
Hello.
I guess I'm just talking soft. I have a tendency to do that. But family, this is the Talk Beat Jones. And remember, on the Roku box, the Amazon, the Apple, and you also can view us over your telephone and other modalities. But you know, quickly, because we have a special guest here today that we're going to have time to talk with her. Why don't we just get a chance to have her introduce herself before we start going into these other questions before we get into why she's here? Young lady, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Joanna Underwood. I'm a political activist and community organizer in the great city of Detroit.
Great city of Detroit.
Great city
Yes.
of Detroit, and I'm a
Okay.
candidate for Detroit Charter Commission.
Okay, and
right.
right ahead. He's for
Yes. Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is the Candleman.
All right, the Candleman.
Yes.
All right. Tell me something before we get into the charter and situations here. I have a question, a comment, and let's find out who we have on the air as well. Hello.
Good morning.
Okay, hold on, Deputy Chief. And here, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh
This
boy.
is
Tell
Barry
you.
of Oakland.
Okay, Mary Bugs of Oakland, California. Hold on, please. Okay, for everyone here. We had some situations recently. We had a man go into the Jewish synagogue, and he shot it up. This same man apparently went to a church that is predominantly majority black, and what he did was he went to the church. At that church, they have a armed guard. He decided that he didn't want to deal with that. And no, I'm mixed up. I'm so upset about the guy in Kentucky. That's what I was about to say. That's the guy that went to the church that was predominantly black, and he saw that they had an armed guard, and he decided maybe that's not the time he wanted to deal with it.
Okay.
And what he did is he went to Kroger.
Yes.
He went to Kroger, and he shot a senior in the back of the head in Kroger. And he also, as the man was down, he shot him multiple times. He went outside, and he did the same thing to a senior black woman. Shot her in the back of the head, and shot her multiple times while she was on the ground. Of course, both was killed. Here is the thing. This man, if you want to call him that, was also married. Now, he's a white man.
Right.
And he was married to a black woman. Why would this white man be so enraged that he's going to just go out and shoot any black person in the back of the head? They don't even know it's coming.
Right.
Can I get a comment before I go to the next situation there? What is your thoughts, Kenny? Cause I'm coming to you.
It's hard for me because my daughter got shot in the back of the head.
Back of the head. And tell them what was your situation with that?
My daughter was back leaving the store, her and her friend backing out. and a guy and some girls was going by. They didn't hit. They almost hit. And one of the girls called her the B word and was getting out the car. And my daughter and her friend looked and drove around. And when she was driving away, the guy shot about 5 times in her car and shot her in the back of the head and blew the back of her head off. So, you know, I think they need for situations like that the death penalty. It's time for us, to stop and just putting these people away and letting the taxpayers pay for them for the rest of their life after they done did something to your family member. I think he need to be hanged. He shot that man in the back of the head, came out and shot that woman. It's no excuse. They have too many excuses for these kind of crimes, and I think it's time out, for that.
Young lady?
Well, I'm not surprised that he might have been married to a black woman. This is something that we need to address in the African American community about, some black people, I like to call them black supremacists, that are involved in relationships with people happen to be Caucasian, that are extremely racist towards black people, and it's a level of self-hatred. It's unfortunate that, because of the president of the United States, who's clearly a racist, has basically
No, he's a nationalist.
well, that's the new fancy word for racist.
Yes.
And he clearly has intensified and gave the green light to people like that to go out here and kill our people. And there has not been any justice for the police shootings that happen unarmed.
Before we go all
Yeah.
there, just stay where we are.
Okay, yeah, so it's the same way, it's just like a continuation of these white supremacists openly killing black people, and we talk about it and it's dismissed.
Okay. Let's go to Deputy Chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for calling.
hmm
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, it's for me, Billy. It's a sign of time, and we have to be prepared. This guy, my understanding, he walked past a white individual, and they said, "Please don't shoot me." And he made comments, "White people don't kill white people."
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like Kenny and Joanne said, it's just a sad situation.
Okay.
And this is what's happening, and it's magnified by 45.
Okay. Hold on. You're going to get a chance to come back, and I want to thank you for your sponsorship, sir.
Okay, you got it. Good,
Mhm.
good.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you hear the question?
Yes, I heard the question, and I agree with everything they said. I mean, this man up in the White House, he needs to be taken off his throne. And his supporters, they're just as bad. These are the ones who listen to him, love to listen to him, and then go out and kill somebody. So people, please vote, and vote Democratic.
Okay. Hold on. I have another question. Now we have the situation with the Jewish. My heart is just beating so hard with this. The man that goes into a house of worship with the Jewish folk, synagogue, and he is just shooting up folk. Can I get an idea from you as to what would make a person do this type of thing, Kenny? No, excuse me, Joanne.
Well, may I ask, is the person that shot up the synagogue is a Caucasian?
I believe he was. Hold on, let me find out. Do you know Kenny?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that when you see this kind of attack on a synagogue and the history of the Jewish people, it goes along with the white nationalist movement of their attacks against blacks and Jews and gays or whoever is not what Hitler would like to call, pure white.
Pure white, yes.
Yes, and so unfortunately, that's what happened. That's what, our president of the United States currently has conjured up these kinds of people, and they're out here and committing these terrible crimes. And my condolences to the family.
Okay, Kenny.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Candleman.
Yeah, I have to agree with her. You know, these folks now, we got this new 4-5 in office, and they feel now it's time for them to step out. You know, and as he was saying, make America great again, and that don't include, you know, African Americans and Jews. So this it's sad, man.
Yes.
It really is sad.
Okay. Deputy Chief,
Yes, sir.
your comment, sir.
Well, like I said before, it's just a sign of the time. This is America. Ain't nothing changed from slavery time. The attitudes are still there. It's just backfired again by 45. And so while we on our knees and praying, this, that, and other, we better be prepared.
Okay, hold on, please. Mary,
Yes.
your comment, please.
Oh, my God. Why don't the people get into your Bible? Revelation is telling you what's going on right now. Please, and disabled people, homeless people, I know you're scared. Most people of the world are scared right now.
All right, hold on, Mary. Last question, and then we'll step forward. The bombs that were sent out, what was that, 11 to 13 bombs? Yeah, 11 to 13 bombs were sent out, and you have the leader of our country, the most powerful man in the world, didn't seem to have a problem with the bombs. I won't go into anything that I want to say about number 45 and his attitude and the fact that all of these bombs were directed towards folks who are not fans of Donald Trump. Right. But a little caveat to this. When Kavanaugh was running for, was being grilled by the committee, there was a young lady that was sitting behind him. And it was pointed out that this young lady was giving out hand signals. They tried to downplay it. But when the folks brought out the fact that she was back there giving out hand signals, that was later determined that it was nationalist type of signals or white power type of signals. What would you think about a lady who actually worked for this person? Her husband is a lawyer, and they didn't think it was no big thing. Yes, Kenny?
Yeah, it is a big thing. They're all in cahoots, you know. This, like you said, these are supporters of 4-5. And 4-5 is not going to step up against his supporters, you know. And it's sad that it's like that. If it was a black nationality, black race doing that, African America, oh, man, they would have shut us down so quick just like they did the Black Panthers.
Yes.
But we still have the Ku Klux Klan out there doing their work, you know, and it's sad.
Joanna?
Yes.
Or
It's,
should I call you Miss Underwood?
oh, well, it doesn't matter.
Because I want them to know who you
Yeah,
are.
well, you can say Underwood, Joanna Underwood, or Underwood.
Okay.
Yes. Well, that whole scenario goes back to what I said. The Tea Party was successful at taking over our federal branch of government, and they are clearly a white nationalist organization, and so of course they're gonna have their people in positions of power like Donald Trump and the woman that you speak of that was making the hand signals, and those are all signs to let the people know. So like I said, the green light was given to these white nationalists across the country that if you can go out here and fulfill your desires of shooting up black people or shooting up synagogues, you basically express your hate and hateful acts, and we bringing back lynching in a new way.
Well, you know, they say that it's a real thin line between love and hate. Mary? Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, what is your thoughts with that?
There was, they caught the bomber, but there was more people behind this. I can't believe one man did this, because bombs was coming all across the country. I mean, they are organized folks, and we as a people better wake up. And will you please stop banning these white folks? Thank you.
Oh.
Good start, Billy.
Hold on a minute. Deputy Chief and family, before you start, Deputy Chief, family, you can see the telephone numbers on the screen. However, you can always remember 313-868-0342, and you will be able to get in. Yes, Deputy Chief.
Yeah, well, this is why it's important to vote. I don't care what nobody say, man. You can see it, and to say that you're not going to get engaged in political process, voting, things like that for leaders, whether it's on the federal, state, or local level, is insane. And the thing about the guy or the lady sitting up giving a signal, man, that's old news. I mean, that's just what they do. They're sophisticated, and they think that in the 21st century that we're stupid and don't see it.
All right, hold on, please. Family, this is the Talk Beat Jones, and we're going to present to you candidates today for the Charter Commission. And so I want to start again, but we want to let you understand and see that we are not just one part or one piece strictly talking about Detroit. We're still aware of all the other particular things, but that's not where we're focused today or this particular time. The election is coming up, and the emphasis on the fact that you need to vote. And we have a candidate today that wants to let you understand that she is a fighter. That's what she told me. Now, for full disclosure, I do not know the young lady that great. I've heard her. Also, all things that are said by Deputy Chief, Mary, Candleman, this young lady, myself, is not co-signed by the station. So these are their own personal views and perspectives. So don't get it twisted. And remember, I, as Billy Jones, Talk Beat Jones, I am what you call the journalist, and I'm on television, and I'm going down the middle. I may ask questions. I may put in a different perspective on what is stated, but everyone has the right to their own thoughts and their own opinions. That includes you. Miss Underwood, you're running for you're running for Charter Commission. Tell us, what is that about?
Well, Detroit Charter Commission is our local constitution. That's what I like to call it. Just like you got a federal constitution, a state constitution. On a local municipality levels, we call those city charters, which is our local constitution that gives our the rights of the people, is a declaration of the rights of the people, and also the protocol of our government, how they supposed to function and operate. We, the people, supposed to write that functioning in that structure.
Okay. Go right ahead.
No, I was just going to tell her, ask her to let the people know how important this charter is for them to vote on, because a lot of people don't, they vote, but they ignore the other little things on the ballot, which the charter is very important for the people of the city of Detroit. So I wanted her just to let the people know, and they need to get out and vote on this charter and put the right people in place.
Okay.
It's extremely
Come
important.
here, Deputy.
Yes,
Go ahead.
it's extremely important to vote for the Detroit City Charter, because the charter is, like I said, it's our constitution, and we, the people, supposed to revise it. Now, I'm going to be honest and open. I was not for the opening of the charter. I think our charter was opened up prematurely. Our charter was opened up 2009. It was opened up 2012, but technically it was only supposed to open up in 2018. So it appears to me that anytime somebody want to do something with the city of Detroit and violate the people rights, they just prematurely open up our charter to do so and put things that do not work for our interests.
Okay, hold on. Deputy Chief,
Yes.
what is your thoughts? I mean, plus, do you have a question for the candidate, Miss Underwood?
Yeah, I got several questions.
Well,
but,
we'll take them one at a time so we can keep things
yeah.
moving.
But it's very important that the listening and viewing audience see what we're doing. And we're utilizing TV 33 as a platform to promote trouble. We need to eliminate the status quo. We need radical change. And again, we need others, such as Ms. Underwood, to come before the people. TV 33 platform. The people need to keep the station up and operating with their financial resources so that we can educate voters, advocate for quality leadership, advocate for a better quality of life, and the bottom line is protect our future, which is our children and grandchildren.
Okay, hold on. We'll come back to you. Mary,
Yes,
you in Oakland, California,
that's right.
and I believe Oakland has a young black female mayor.
So
No?
she's middle-aged, I guess, and she's right.
Okay, she's good. Okay, so so I had the age wrong and I had the color wrong.
Yeah, bad, bad.
Okay,
But anyway, there's an important ballot, and please vote yes on 10. This is trying to get more housing for low income and
wait.
affordable.
Now, Mary, you're talking about a ballot that's in Oakland, California. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
for
so
the
we have to
state of
distinguish.
California.
Okay, family. So we have to realize that Mary is calling from Oakland, California. So when she's speaking about a ballot, because we go around the world, we do have family members who are in Oakland and the Bay Area that's listening to the program. So she's talking specifically to that group of folk. Okay, Mary.
My point is, please vote. Remember, 6 million blacks did not vote in the presidential election. So
Okay.
you voted for Trump. Please don't do that again. Now, I may go independent soon. I'm a little tired of Democrats, too.
Okay.
But you've had a beautiful program. And, young lady, I hope you win. Thanks a lot, Billy.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you, Mary. How do we know what we want to change, Miss Underwood?
That's a great question. The only way you will know, to me, in my personal experience working in the community and doing community engagement, is that you have to be engaged with the people. You will have to know what public policy and what part of our charter that's effective and working for the better interests of the people and which parts are not. And the only way you will know that information if you actually engage in the process with the people. And so that's why it's so important to elect the right people to Detroit Charter Commission, because right now we have a situation in the city of Detroit where we have a lot of corporate money being funded in these small local elections, and it's really driving up the cost of candidates like myself who represent the low income black women, single mothers in the city of Detroit to run for local positions to represent our community.
Okay. Kenny, you have a question for the young lady?
One of the questions I have is in the charter. I heard that they say people can come here and don't have to live here in order to run for certain positions in the election. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm totally opposed to that, and I'm part of our political platform, the slate, which is the People's Slate, which is a slate of candidates, and myself. We want to extend the residency requirement for individuals seeking to public office from 1 year to 4 years, because currently our city charter only states that you can have 1 year residency, and a lot of times they don't even have 1 year residency. They do a write-in candidate. A perfect example of that is our current mayor, who got in as a write-in candidate because he didn't even have a full year, full 12 months. It was less than 6 months of residency when he took the highest position in our city, which is the mayor position.
Good. Okay.
Okay. Deputy Chief,
Yes.
your comment, sir.
Well, Joanna is absolutely correct. Right now, we have a carpetbag mayor with a carpetbag administration controlling our money, paying money out of our tax dollars to developers and billionaires, and the citizens of Detroit are catching hell and going to continue catching hell for the next 30 to 35 years. We can't improve our food. We can't improve our quality of life. We can't do nothing with the tax dollars for ourselves, our citizens of Detroit. And you look at the majority of the council members, they're sitting there like bumps on the log, and then you turn around. I like for Joanna to define the so-called what we call mailbox candidates. We don't know who the hell these folks are. All of a sudden, they just parachuted on the scene, and they running for the Charter Commission. We don't even know who they are. And then when you peel that onion back, you find out that these are hand-picked people of Mike Duggan, the mayor.
Okay, but as we spoke on before, a person can be hand-picked. However, you know, and I want to be open about this, that I've had a discussion with Deputy Chief concerning this issue. And it's not an issue, it's a point of clarity. That yes, we have folks who are in Mike Duggan's camp who are running for the Charter Commission. However, it is always my contention that it is the people in Detroit who actually go out and vote or don't vote to make this happen. So just because you are a godfather through Mike Duggan don't mean that the people have to vote for you. Then so that becomes like, okay, then what is the people who are running, who are not connected with Mike Duggan? Why is the people in Detroit going along with the okie dokie and not saying, no, this person is a greater, better person? And Deputy Chief, I want you to stay with me and take that that position that you have when we come back after I get a chance to exhale real quickly, okay?
Gotcha.
Okay. So we're going to come back and we're going to keep you. How long can you stay with us?
I can stay.
You got a little time?
You got a little time.
Kenny, you got a little time?
I got a little time.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to bring you more of the Talk Beat Jones. We're talking candidates today on the Talk Beat Jones. So stay with me because I got that feeling I need to exhale because I get a little rough. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones.
Bon Appetit, Elegant Catering. We now deliver. Pre-order your dinners today. Most Wanted Platter. Visit our website, bonappetitelegantcatering.com. Barbecue rib dinners. We now deliver. Shrimp dinners. We now deliver. Fried chicken dinners. We now deliver. Lamb chop dinners. We now deliver. Fish dinners. We now deliver. Surf and turf dinners at Bon Appetit. We now deliver. Give us a call, 313-444-5048.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is we're back with we're here with the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy Jones, and some folks call it Dr. Talk, but I'm now just Billy Jones, keeping it like my mother said, your name is Billy Jones, Billy. So I'm Billy Jones, and this is Talk Beat Jones, and I have a special guest this morning, hopefully will be my co-host as time moves forward. Sir?
The Candle Man.
The Candle Man, and we have a Charter Commission candidate, young lady.
Joanna Underwood.
Joanna Underwood. And we have a young man that I remember sometime in the past, I was on the air and I said, now, if the activist groups want to be talked about on this program, what you ought to do is spend a few dollars. Now, I wasn't talking about necessarily just spending a few dollars with me, but I'm talking about with the station. Now, we have Malik who puts on 4 shows, so I never talk about that person. But this man calls in, been calling in for years, calls into stations, etc., because he's committed. I should let him tell you. And he's spending his money to help us expand the Talk Beat Jones show Sir,
Yes, sir.
before you get into the activity concerning the commission and the Duggan situation and the folks, 16 of them, why are you so committed that not only are you a person that will call and talk and ask questions and make comments and bring facts and figures, you're going into your pocketbook. Excuse me, your wallet.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going into your wallet.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Well, like I say, Billy, I grew up in Detroit, and Detroit's been good to me. I made a career in Detroit, put my daughter through college, put some other young ladies through college, and it's my way of giving back, trying to educate the public, because they've been bamboozled, if you will, to keep it clean for 40 to 50 years. And we see that those folks who have jammed the citizens of Detroit for 40 or 50 years, they really were never with us in the first place. My pension is there in Detroit, and believe it or not, I still have some folks who helped raise me, still living, and I don't appreciate the way they're being treated. And so that's why I'm fighting.
Okay. Now, you want to come back to the overall about the Charter Commission and the fact that you were speaking about the candidates for the charter, and I have yet to see who actually is running for the Charter Commission. I've heard, of course, you.
Okay.
Hold on. Go right ahead, Deputy Chief.
Well, the thing is this. Again, we know Joanna, and we know she's a fighter. She's been out there on the front line. We know Nicole Small. But again, here it is 10 days out from the election. And then, as I said, we have these, what in political circles, what we call mailbox candidates. Most of the citizens, the voters, do not know who these folk are. Okay?
Can I interrupt you?
Sure.
But just interruption, and you can continue. And but the thing of the matter is that these folks that you're speaking of, they're connected within the city through family, friends who are well placed, sororities, etc. So they have the big homes, the big parties that they can have, the meet and greets, etc. So when we say we don't know them, they know them within their group that they're with, their peer groups, the folks who actually go out to vote. So how is it that we can get the folks who don't really party with them, don't really associate with them, is not considered their equal? Joanne, let me ask you that question.
Well, that's what I've been fighting for the last 3 years on the ground. We need to stop the division, the upper class and the poor class blacks. What your inner circle connections, when we're dealing with public policy that affects the whole entire city of Detroit, you got to get out of your comfort zone. Now you're around your people in your comfort zone. And how can you relate to every neighborhood in the city of Detroit? And how can you be added to the city?
Hold on, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, how can you add to the city of Detroit charter as far as being a fair commissioner when you only want to represent Sherwood's Force? You know, I represent Bewick and Mack, 94 and Van Dyke, the parts of the area of the city of Detroit like McDougal that has totally been ignored and he's ostracized from the overall the city of Detroit. And so we need charter commissioners that represent all of the city, not just certain parts or certain cliques in the city. That is the problem with Detroit politics today.
Okay, Kenny, and then Deputy Chief, and I have a new caller. Hold on, Deputy. Let me find out who I have. Caller?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Can you hold for a moment? I'll bring you in,
Yes.
please. Thank you.
Okay.
Go right ahead, Kenny.
Well, I'm just going to say that this is the kind of candidate that we need. Someone fighting for all of Detroit. You know, we put people in there that fight for certain parts of Detroit, Corktown, Midtown, downtown. But what about our town? You know, the neighborhoods, the community. And that's why the people have to get up and wake up and vote. We need that, because if not, the future is dark for us.
Okay. Deputy Chief and Call, I'll come to you right next after I talk with Deputy Chief. Deputy Chief, comments, please?
Yeah, and like I said, Billy, you and I had conversations on this issue about Duggan and his team and whatever. But my point, one of my points is, hey, just like we don't know who these mailbox candidates are, we don't know if they're residents of Detroit. And for a non-resident to be sitting on the charter commission, that's insane. Okay? Here's case in point. Garland Gilchrist. Okay? People are saying they're not sure if Garland Gilchrist met the residence requirement when he ran for city clerk, because he's lived in Grosse Pointe for some time. And the clerk's race was what, 2016? So again, there's a question about people sitting here waiting for the last two weeks, 10 days out from the election, and they flooding your mailbox. A lot of them don't have money, just like Joanna and some of the grassroots candidates.
And with that, Deputy Chief, Deputy Chief, with that,
connected sources.
And with that, Deputy Chief, I believe going back to one thing that you were speaking earlier about is using TV 33 as a platform.
Yes.
And we want to make an invitation that if you are a grassroots person and you have yet to be able to get your information out the way you need to have it, you need to contact Kenny or the Candleman. And Candleman, would you give a telephone number?
313-778-0979.
And Deputy Chief, would you give a number for? These are the two people that you can contact to have access to the Talk B. Jones show. Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's very important, Billy, that we use TV 33 as a platform, because if politics is in your future, we have a model, a winning model that you can get in. My number is 313-399-8290.
Hold on, sir. Welcome to the Talk B. Jones. Thank you for calling. And let me do this first. Kenny, Mr. Candleman, he's my friend. I tell you what, when I started with TV 33 years and years and years and years ago on the air, this man is the man that stepped forward and let me know that he supports me. And through the years, we've got closer and closer and closer, because no matter what happened, even through disagreements, we still continue to grow closer. He's a real man. Would you please introduce yourself, sir?
The Candleman. And I want to say, it's hard to find a true friend and that's 100%. Whether we agree or disagree, he go bring it to you real. And that's what I like about Mr. Billy Jones, and that's how we got closer and closer, because he keep it real.
Okay. And Miss Underwood?
Joanna Underwood, a candidate for Detroit Charter Commission.
Okay. And young lady, thank you for calling, and you're live.
Okay. My name is Patricia Mason, and hi, Miss Underwood. I'm one of your Facebook friends, and I'd like to commend you for being a young woman who gets it, who realizes that politics is directly aligned to our quality of life. And as far as these people that are non-residents, well, that began with, in my opinion, Dennis Archer, Dave Dean. None of these people met the residence requirements. Our candidates for mayor have been picked, in my opinion, by the powers that be ever since Coleman Young left office. So we have a entrenched problem with corruption and politics in the city of Detroit, and that's because they did not want this predominantly black city to achieve the goals that our former Mayor Young had laid out for us. They usurped everything he did, all the things he did to make us self-sufficient. They bought them some Negroes, and they usurped every single thing. But my specific question, I'm sort of perplexed And I want to ask Ms. Underwood, on Proposal 2, which is to, in their words, get rid of gerrymandering, which I am against, but I do not like the language in the proposal, specifically exclusive authority. And I'd like your opinion on that, and I'll hang up. Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
Well, I actually talked to one of the organizers behind the gerrymandering proposal, and what's also something to note is the fact that the Secretary of State is going to randomly select 10,000 people and give them applications. Now, our current Secretary of State is a Republican, so they claim it's going to be unbiased, but she's hold a nonpartisan position. However, if I'm a Republican and I'm a Secretary of State and all I have to do is mail out 10,000 applications for people to be on the board to revise the voter line district, I'm going to send it out to people that I know, you know. Right. So it's no transparency with that. And overall, we do have to do something about gerrymandering, because we don't, from my understanding, Michigan is the worst state in the country for gerrymandering, but we should not just take any proposal lightly. And we should be very critical of the people who's sponsoring this gerrymandering proposal and also funding it.
Okay. And hello, caller. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good morning to all of them.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. You know what? I want to say this. There's only one person in this race that qualified to sit in that office of governor, and that's Gretchen Whitmer.
But wait.
Go ahead.
Before we go there,
Mm-hmm.
give me your comments about the charter. You can still get the comment about the governor's race, but
All right.
do you have a comment about the charter?
Okay. Well, I mean, basically, the charter is the city's Bible, or it's the Constitution of the city. And I mean, these are the rules and things that, you know, the city runs by as well as the people live by. Okay. It's as simple as that. And, you know, in terms of how this thing came about to where we are, where we find ourselves today, I mean, I thought it was awfully kind of strange that there was really no, how can I say it, notice until almost like the 11th hour and the 59th minute that, you know, the charter was going to be reviewed. And people had to scramble around on a dime to go out and collect signatures and submit them to be qualified to run for the Charter Commission. And that, I mean, that's what I found real strange. But I mean, it's what it is. I mean, we're going to have a panel, I believe, of 9 people who are going to be elected to look at the charter and, you know, do some amending to it. So,
do you have any idea of the 16 candidates? Have you do you have a background understanding who they are?
Oh, definitely. I'm an executive board member in Sergeant Arms.
Okay.
The Wayne County Democratic Black Caucus.
Okay.
And we reached out to candidates to, you know, come before us to be screened for endorsement. And so we made our choice and we made our endorsements, and we've got a slate printed up, and we did a lit drop last weekend, and I believe there's going to be one done today as well.
Okay.
So I, you know, like I say, all the candidates for the Charter Commission, no, they did not come before us. Now, why? I don't know. Okay. But we did reach out.
Okay. Quick comment about the mayor's race. You want to make that kind of quick for us, please?
Okay.
I was kind of breaking up. I was trying to say, could you go ahead and elaborate about your thought on the governor's race real quickly, and I'm going to bring Deputy Chief in after you.
Oh, sure. I mean, you know, the bottom line is this: Gretchen Whitmer is the woman to sit there in that seat and run this state. I mean, because if you look at Bill Schuette, where was Bill Schuette when Mike Duggan, Mayor Duggan, was trying to get this thing within insurance? MIA, missing in action. He wants to take, all right, or I'm going to say it, take away from 680,000 people that Gretchen Whitmer went over to the Republican side and got them to agree to enact it, to make it law, that these people can have Obamacare, as they call it.
Okay.
Okay? And also the right to literacy. Bill Schuette, when they I think it was Judge Stephen Murphy that
okay.
said kids
Okay.
don't have a right to literacy. Where was he?
Okay,
Silence
I can see where
that-
you're going, but my time is short.
All right, sure,
I
no
want to thank
problem.
you. Okay,
All right.
caller, you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning. I have a guest panel. You want to address my guest panel, please?
Yes.
Let me.
Hey, JoJo.
Hello. Hi.
Hey,
Hold on, Deb.
Candyman
Hi,
and
how
Deputy
you doing?
Chief
How you
and Billy
doing?
Joe.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to answer the last caller's question concerning the Detroit Charter Commission, which I know JoJo is going to also pattern after me too. Will reflect after my comment after I hang up. Okay, so at the 11th hour that which he quoted, Duggan's candidates were well informed to actually get their signatures done way ahead of time. They knew that the charter was open, but they didn't let the public know. They did not let the public know. So at the last minute, of course, people such as myself, Nicole Small, Joanna Underwood, and several others for the people.
Okay, young lady.
And
Young lady, because of the
Mhm.
time constraint, I need you to give us quickly so I can go back to Miss Underwood, please.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is Duggan was the one that was over opening the charter.
Okay, thank you so
Because
much.
he don't want the people to have power.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, family, Deputy Chief,
Yes.
are you going to be with us? Let me ask Mr. Henry Tyler. Mr. Tyler, are we going to have a second hour? Anytime. Thank you. So, Deputy Chief, we're going to be able to explore more, and I see that we have another young lady that we're going to bring on in the second hour as well. Deputy Chief, you want to pick up on the conversation about the charter? Or
Yes.
also, if you want to hit on that Gretchen thing, you can do that too.
Well, like I said last week, this governor's race, definitely we do not want shooting, okay, because I agree with what everyone has said about shooting. But Gretchen, I mean, again, who the hell is Gretchen? Whitman? I mean, she don't. We haven't seen her in years. Okay, now she done popped on the scene running for governor. She was selected by Mike Duggan, Warren Evans, Dennis Archer. So for me, I mean, I know their history, and for me to support a candidate like that, I mean, as I said before, this is an election that you have to vote and hold your nose.
Well, I think that's one of the problems is that many of us in the past in our community, and I think that that's one of the problems is that we tell folks you got to vote and hold your nose.
Right.
You know, if you only got two folks, it's like, okay, do we do just the same doggone way that we did with Trump? Do we have folks talking about that may be good for us if he's elected? Do we have to continue to go through the fact and didn't do our fact checking the fact that you got a man running for the highest office in the land who had never ever served as an elected official, and then you wonder why is it he's doing things the way he's doing? He's always been the alpha male, doing things his own way, and you thought that you was going to give him all of this power, and he was going to cut back and sort of trying to act like you curt, nice, political acting folk? Heck
Hey,
no.
Billy, and let me just add on to what you just said. Just like the caller said, he's a sergeant at arms, he's this, that, and the other for the Democratic Party or whatever. And he's talking about what's strange and this, that, and other. Well, why didn't you guys stop it? If you had questions, hell, you could have spoke up and stopped it. Right. You know, but to come on TV 33 talking about something that's strange, that's our problem. That's what's creating problems in Detroit.
Okay, hold on, please. Miss Underwood. how do we know what we want to change in the charter?
As far as the people don't know, we what's needed to be changed. We needed to do some education along with this process. But there's several articles in the charter that do need to be changed. One thing I talked about earlier is the residency requirement from 1 year to 4 years. We had to protect the police commissioners, as well as one thing I would like to see, an independent election commission.
Okay, Chief Kenny. I mean, Mr. Candleman.
You know what I want to know, do they have anything in there where we can remove these bad seats out of these seats that's bringing the city down, is not, and not for the people? Do they have anything in the charter?
Would you break down when you say bad seeds, and are we talking about council people?
Yeah, city council people that's rubber stamping everything that's dug in, putting in front of them, that's not for the people, going against the people.
Okay, young lady.
Yeah, we
Go
can
ahead,
we can always do recalls. One particular recall that need to be done is District 7 Councilman Gabe Leland. So we can always do recalls. It would take a percentage amount of signatures to remove any council person out of the position, but it would take the will of the people to do so.
Kenny, go ahead.
I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe I'm still asleep. How do we keep his seat when he have all these indictments against him, and the city council is not doing nothing about it? Brenda Jones and them not removing him, and this guy got all these indictments against him.
Well, let's do a quick history of the city council, and Deputy Chief, I need your help with this.
Okay.
I arrived in Detroit in 2004, and when I leave the earth, I'll probably be buried here in Detroit. I love the city. Don't ever want to leave the city. Ever since I've been here, every council person or groups that have been elected, there has been one or two folks that have been convicted or brought up on charges serving the city council. Now, in that length of time, Deputy Chief, this is why I need you to help me to understand, while those persons were being investigated, and I'm not sure if they were indicted, but some of them did go to jail, and others were found guilty. Were they removed from the city council? Were anyone removed from the city council while charges were being brought against them, or is it strictly, is this the first person that's been indicted while sitting on the council that we know of?
No, Gabe Leland isn't the first person to be indicted. Lonnie Bates. We can go back to.
I got about 2 or 3. I got about 2 minutes. So you're saying that there's been persons on the city council that were indicted, but they still served a term or served until they were taken away. Is that true?
Yeah, that's pretty much the fact.
Okay. Yeah. So Gabe Leland is not really doing anything that much different than the city council has functioned in the other particular years. Now, what I need to do is take about a minute, give me a closeout, and you can stay for a little while longer, or Kenny, you can also stay, and I'm trying to get this right, and we're going to bring on this young lady. So we're going to bring on more. We're going to give you more, but we have to go to a commercial break. And so let's do it that way. Let's go to commercial break, and we'll continue with the Talk Beat Jones. Let's do it that way. You wouldn't have to go anywhere, because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And